Welcome to another Storyboarder tutorial. Today we are going to take a look at creating characters in your 3D program and bringing them into Storyboarder to use as rigged models. All right, to get started with, there are several programs we're going to use. Real quick, we're going to use Mixamo, as well as Blender, and of course Storyboarder. So what we're going to do first is go into Blender, and I've already done this for us. I've just created a generic character. You can create and sculpt your character as detailed as you'd like, making it looking realistic or 3D. What I did for this purpose was to show you how to create it in Blender, pull it in to Mixamo, rig it, and then take it back into Blender, set it up for Storyboarder, and pull it in. It's a multi-step process. It'll probably, once you get used to it, take you about, I'm going to say 15 minutes, maybe at the most, depending on how fast your computer is. So real quick, basically what I did first is I created a person, just a simple person in Blender. I used cylinders, spheres, and just created the outline of a person. When I created it, I had created each individual part and then I joined them together as one item. All right. So you see over here, they're listed as all one sphere. All right. And then what I do from here is then I will then get ready to pull it into Mixamo. And so I'll have to export it as an object file. So I then go to export as a wavefront object file. And as you can see here, I've already done this. I called him Simple Simon. Simple Simon. I'm going to call him Simple Simon Object 2, just so we can see this whole process. I'm call him Simple Simon Object 2, and I'm going to export him as an object. Now I created a folder where I'm going to keep him in. All right. And once I've done that, then I'm going to go over to Mixamo, and I go to, you see here, I've already done him once. I'm going to do it again. I go up to Upload Character right here. Click on Upload. And then I'm going to pull in the file that I created. I can hit Select and then search for it, but I already have the folder up. So I come over here to the folder I called Load to Mixamo. Right here. Make it a little bigger so we can see it. And then Simple Simon to Object. I'm going to bring him in, drag him in. All right, at this point, you now have your character in, and now you have to select the corresponding points. So oriented, perfect. I'm going to hit next. Now in Mixamo, you're going to set these points to rig your character. Place the chin, place the wrists. I'm going to go ahead and give him some hands. So put the wrists right about there. Place the elbows, and place the knees, and place the groin area. Now you can turn off symmetry if you need to and adjust things. For example, let's say you have a character whose one arm is shorter than the other. You can move these separately, but using symmetry allows you to do that. Now, the best thing I found for the skeleton for Blender, or sorry, for Storyboarder, is using the standard 65 bone skeleton. Okay, all right, so we're going to use standard 65 bone skeleton. We've set up the chin, wrist, elbow, knees, and groin. We click next. Mixamo does its thing. Give it a little bit of time. While we're waiting, one thing I did notice is I had to make sure that everything was touching. The only exception was where you saw the head didn't actually touch. So now that it's actually rigged, it's all set up, you can see that it will move with these different animations from Mixamo. You can add animation to it. So now we hit next. It says your character has been uploaded. And once we have loaded our character onto Mixamo, we then can download him. Once he's already rigged, we're going to download him as an FBX 7.4 file in a T-pose. And click download. And we're going to name him Simple Simon 2. And save our file to quickly find it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start a new. All right, we're going to keep the cube as a reference, raise it up to 1 meter, turn it to the front view, set it to transparent, and then we're going to pull in our file. We're going to import our FBX file, and we're going to go to recent. Here, go up one, load to Blender, import. All right, and there he is, Simple Simon 2, import. Now he's going to import smaller than normal, so we're then going to hit scale and make him bigger. Oops, I went the wrong way. So scale to make him bigger, and there we go. Let's zoom in on him a little bit. Okay, there he is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get rid of the square. What to do next is very important. We're going to have to apply all of our transformations. Let's make sure we select it all first. Object, apply all of our transformations. That's going to set all these where they need to be. We're going to then, just to make sure, we're going to clear out location. We're going to clear rotation, and we're going to clear scale. All right. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to export it as a GITF or GLB file. And we're going to pick our file where we're going to save it, which I will use as here, up one, load storyboarder, final GLB, Simple Simon. We're going to call him Simple Simon 2. And we're going to export him. Then we're going to come over here to our storyboarder, open up, and let's insert a character. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and put him at 0, 0. So we can get a good look at him. All right, I'm going to enter a second character, set him off to the side so we can compare. Oops, I want this part to be 0. And we'll move them over this way a little bit. There we go. All right, so we're going to load in our new guy right here. To do that, we come over here. We're going to pick select file. Then go to where you saved your person. For me, it's in Simple Simon under this whole strand. And we're looking for Simple Simon 2 right here. We're going to import him. And there he is. Now, one of the things is he came in bigger than normal. That's okay. You simply just come over here. And it came in at 1.6. So we're going to drop it down back to 1. All right. If you need to, you can go a little bit lower to make them around the same size. I haven't figured out how to get it to transform to the exact size, but again, I may have created it too big. But either way, the main thing is this. Now we can pose him. All right. One thing I did not do with my character I created was create shoulder blades. If you take a look here, this character has shoulder blades right here that are longer. You look at my character here, I did not give him shoulder blades. So when I do a particular pose, as in his arms crossed, like right here, bride pose, because his shoulder blades are too small, the arms actually cross. When you create your own character, make sure you give him shoulder blades. All right, so I'll do the same pose on this guy, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Right there, all right? Other than that, give them the same pose. There they are, same pose. Now, one thing I have noticed that does not work is the mirror pose on this. So when you create your character, for some reason, you cannot click on mirror pose. Don't know why. It's just the way it is. But it's a good start. Okay? I can't do mirror pose. But on this guy, if I pick basketball and I do mirror pose, it works. But for this guy, you can't do mirror pose. All right? Other thing I did notice was hand gestures do not work on your imported characters. Although this guy doesn't have them, on other ones I've imported, I noticed that the hand gestures do not change either. Okay, so those are two things to keep in mind with your new character. For my purposes of just bringing this character into Blender, into Blender then Storyboarder, I'm just going to go down to Download. I click Download, and I'm going to pick the F7, and I don't want any animation. So let me hit cancel for a minute. And so I'm just going to go to character, and then I'm going to go download. I don't want any animations, but anyway, I can cancel that over too. So I'm going to hit download, and I'm going to go to FBX 7.4 with skin, keyframe reduction. I'll keep that as none. Frames per second, it really doesn't matter because I'm going to get rid of all the animation sequences. So I'm going to hit download. And it's going to download it as an FBX file. And as you see here, I did it before. You see Simple Simon 1 FBX. I had no animations applied, and I just downloaded the character, and that's where he came in here. So I'm going to do it again with the unnamed jump. At this point, you'll then go back to Blender. And then when you pull in the character, you're going to see that he's already rigged in the T-pose. Okay. All right. So now this is the version that I pulled in, which was the Simple Simon 1. All right. I'm going to go ahead and show you the process that I did. So I'm going to start new, general. Go ahead and I'm going to leave the box so we'll use it for a reference. I'm going to raise it up. Oops. To 1. It's flat. Turn it this way. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to file, import the FBX file, and we had it saved in, oh, here we go, load to Blender, and then here's unnamed jump. We're going to pull that in. All right, and notice it's already small. We can't see it, so it loads in very tiny. So we have to scale it up. So we pick S for scale, and right there we can't see it. So I'm going to hit the wireframe view. There it is. We'll hit scale again, and there it is. Now, what we're going to do right now is we're going to clear out all the animations. So I come over here, armature, animation, right-click, clear animation data, pose. That's fine. And delete that. And come in here just like this. Other thing we need to do now that we have it scaled is we're going to clear all the transforms. we're going to apply all the transforms first. Okay, we applied them all. And then we're going to just make sure we're going to go ahead and clear location, clear rotation, clear scale. All right, now that we've done that, we have our character. Okay. And then we're going to save it as a GLB file. Export. GLB. And we're going to go ahead and go to models, put it in a folder. You can find it quickly. I've made these folders. Load to Storyboarder, final GLB, and I'm going to call him Tutorial Simon. We're going to export him. And then we're going to go over to Storyboarder. Open up shot generator. Import it, make a character. And then to import, we click right here. And then go to select file. And you click on it. You're going to go to the place you've stored it. I've gone into Simple Simon, and I'm going to Tutorial Simon. And there you go. Now, the thing is, though, when it imports your character, it enlarges him for some reason. I haven't figured out how to get rid of that particular problem, but other than that, everything is just fine. So if we go over here and take a look at the details, we see that it loaded as a 1.6 scale. So I'm just going to drop it back a 1. Okay, there he is. I want to place him at 0, 0. Okay, and now what you've been waiting for, let's pose him. All right, so if you pick a couple poses, there he goes. It's looking like that. Doing all the different poses. Okay, all right, and standing. Now the one thing, because of the character I created, notice I did not give him shoulder blades, so it tried to give me bones for the shoulders. That's why in this particular pose the arms crossed over each other, because I did not create enough distance for the shoulder blades and the bones that are considered to be there. So some of the poses, in this case, for this particular example, will be a little bit off. But if you notice, it's bent here at the elbow and hand. If I come up here and I want to modify it, I can just move it up and down. Come over here to the wrist. Okay. Notice it slants it a little bit. Okay. Rotate it in and out. There we go. All right, so there you go. Now let's go ahead and let's compare him to a regular guy. And another character. Slide him over a bit, put him back at 0, 0. All right, and let's put them all in the same pose. We're going to put them on squatting and squatting. So we're doing the same thing. Now you notice he's a little bit taller. If you need to, go ahead and scale him down so they're around the same size. All right, so there. That's the basic way to upload a character that you've created in a 3D program into Storyboarder. All right. If you like this, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and have a great day.